नमस्कार दोस्तों, मैं हूं आपका होस्ट हीरालाल। Friend of mine and his group planned to visit Leh Ladakh on a track and mountaineering trip. On the first day, they reached Manali and stayed at Atal Bihari Vajpayee Institute of Mountaineering and Allied Sports, took rest, acclimatized themselves, had some refresher training, enjoyed the day, and visited Hidimba temple nearby in the evening. This pagoda style temple was built in 1553 AD by Raja Bahadur Singh of Kullu. This temple is dedicated to goddess Hidimba, who was Bhim's wife and Ghatotkacha's mother in the Hindu scripture Mahabharata. In Kullu, it is considered an incarnation of the most powerful goddess Durga and Kali. Next day, early in the morning, the group set on a journey by road for Leh. Had short stopovers at some really beautiful locations. At lunchtime, the group stopped near a beautiful lake, prepared the food, and enjoyed as well. Some of the locations are really breathtaking. The group even called off further journey for the lake for rest and rejuvenation. Next day, got ready and had breakfast in their camps. It was a bright, sunny morning, so left for further journey to Leh. Let me tell you something about Leh. Leh is the joint capital and largest town of the Union Territory of Ladakh in India and is located in the Leh district. It was also the historical capital of Himalayan Kingdom of Ladakh, the seat of which was in the Leh Palace, the former residence of the royal family of Ladakh, built in the same style and about the same time as the Potala Palace in Tibet. Leh was an important stopover on trade routes along the Indus Valley between Tibet to the east, Kashmir to the west, and also between India and China for centuries. The main goods carried were salt, grain, pashm or Kashmiri wool, charas or cannabis resin from the Tarim Basin, indigo, silk yarn and Benaras brocade. Mountains dominate the landscape around the Leh as it is at an altitude of 3,500 meters. Peaks such as Nanga Sago can reach well above 5,500 meters. The principal access roads include the 434-kilometer Srinagar-Leh highway, which connects Leh with Srinagar, and the 473-kilometer Leh-Manali highway, which connects Manali with Leh. Both the roads are open only on a seasonal basis, although the access roads from Srinagar and Manali are often blocked by snow in winter. The local roads in the Indus Valley usually remain open due to the low level of precipitation and snowfall. The route from Srinagar, the road that crosses the Zojila Pass to Kargil and then up the Indus Valley to Leh. In 2010, Leh was heavily damaged by the sudden floods caused by a cloud burst. The rapid and poorly planned urbanization of Leh has increased the risk of flash floods in some areas. Several towns and castles are said to have been founded by Naima Gan, and he apparently ordered the construction of the main sculptures at Shai, just 15 kilometers east of modern Leh, was the ancient seat of Ladakhi kings. The original palace, built near the Shai village, is now in ruins. The existing Shai monastery or Gompa and the Shai palace complex are structures containing a giant copper with gilded gold statue of Shakyamuni Buddha. It is the second largest Buddha statue in the region. Shakyamuni Buddha is so named since Buddha was a Muni of Sakya people who resided in the Himalayan foothills, and their capital was Kapilvastu. During the reign of Dailex Namagyal, the Nawab of Kashmir, which was then a province in the Mughal Empire, built a large Sunni Muslim mosque in Leh at the upper end of the bazaar in Leh, below the Leh Palace. The mosque reflects a mixture of Islamic and Tibetan architecture and can accommodate more than 500 people. The royal palace, known as Leh Palace, was built by King Sangye Namagyal 1612 to 1642. It is 9 stories high. The upper floors accommodated the royal family, and the stables and storerooms are located on the lower floors. Later, the royal family moved their premises south to their current home in Stock Palace on the southern bank of the Indus. Administration of Ladakh is the governing authority of the Indian Union Territory of Ladakh and its 2 districts. The administration is led by a Lieutenant Governor appointed by the President of India, who acts on behalf of the central government of India. The 2 districts of Ladakh, the Leh Autonomous Hill Development Council and the Kargil Autonomous Hill Development Council, which have competence over a range of domestic affairs. The road up to Leh is maintained by Indian Army, but a stretch of about 50 kilometers up to Rohtang Pass is rugged terrain, but through beautiful mountains. The trackers team continued their journey and around afternoon reached last highest pass, that is Tanglangla Pass, located at 364 km on Manali-Leh highway and at an altitude of 17,582 feet. After crossing the other difficult passes like Rohtang Pass, Lach Langla Pass, etc. Visited a beautiful all-religion shrine nearby. Everybody worshipped his own way. The place is dotted with many colorful prayer flags. After a further long journey of more than 3 hours, called off the move and stayed near a small monastery. Next day, after enjoying a drive for more than 1.5 hours in the morning, visited beautiful Hamis Monastery, little ahead of Leh town at around 10 in the morning. Spent more than an hour here and continued their journey further. In the afternoon, at around 12:15, again made a small stopover at Thingsay Monastery. The group, after their visit to the Sheh Monastery, started their journey further to Leh, which was nearly 15 kilometers away. Before reaching the stay at Leh, the whole team attempted mountaineering, that is, a descent from a vertical cliff by using a doubled rope that is fixed to a higher point and wrapped around the body. In short, it is called rappelling.
पहला स्टोन में थोड़ा सा दिक्कत होता है,
वो तेरा है नहीं तो नीचे आ जाओ सर, नीचे वो खड़ी है,
थोड़ा साइड से लो,
ऐसे लो,
पीछे से इधर से लो।
यस बिल्कुल सही जा रहे हैं,
बॉडी सीधा रखिए बस।
वेरी गुड। अब फोटो खिंचवा लीजिए पहले फोटो खिंचवा लीजिए एक बार। अब रुकिए, एक मिनट रुकिए, फोटो खिंचवाइए। यादव जी इस तरफ देखिए, इस तरफ मूड इस तरफ कीजिए, इस तरफ यादव जी। खुद ले लूंगा एंगल से
This continued for more than 2 hours, and finally the group landed at their stay at Leh by evening to take rest after a lot of hectic tour and, of course, rappelling. Leh has a cold desert climate with long cold winters from late November to early March, with minimum temperatures well below freezing for most of the winter. The city gets occasional snowfall during winter. The weather in the remaining months is generally fine and warm during the day. Average annual rainfall is only a little above 100 mm. In 2010, the city experienced flash floods. Leh is located at an average elevation of about 3,500 meters, which means that only one crop a year can be grown here, while two can be grown at Khalatse. By the time crops are being sown at Leh in the late May, they are already half grown at Khalatse. The main crop is grim, which is a domesticated barley with an easier to remove hull, from which the staple food in Ladakh, sampa, is made. The water for agriculture of Ladakh comes from the Indus, which runs low in March and April, when barley fields have the greatest need for the irrigation. The population of Leh town is around 30 to 35,000, of which the males constitute about 61% of the population and females are 39%. A large presence of known local laborers, traders and government employees. The people of Leh are ethnic Tibetan, speaking Ladakhi, a Tibetic language. Buddhism is the main religion followed in the valley. And second one is Hinduism. Of course, Islam is also followed by the minority Muslims. Besides these communities, Christianity, Sikhism, but in very small strength. After a long rest at Leh stay, the group left for Pangong Lake at 6:40 in the morning by road. Enjoyed the beautiful scenic mountains in the morning sun. Snow-capped mountains looked stunning. After an uphill drive for 1 hour and 15 minutes or so, reached world's third highest pass, Changla, at 17,586 feet. In fact, in Ladakhi language, La means pass. Here location is Chang. Visited Changla Baba Devasthal nearby and everybody paid their obeisance for about 10 minutes. On way, after half an hour drive, found a restaurant hut. Had tea of goat and yak milk. In Tibet, yak is kind of universal animal which meets all the needs of the local people, say for meat, clothing, milk, transport, etc. Watched many herds of goat, sheep, yak on the way. Beautiful. The group also noted our proud army alertness on the border areas. Saluted them. The group was thrilled to watch a surprise animal or a variety of marmot found in Himalayas. Very rare to see, appears to be well trained to amuse the guests and have food. Clicked photos with them. At around 11 a.m., say after 4 hours of journey, the group was finally at Pangong Lake. Pangong Teso or Pangong Lake or Pangong Jheel is an endorheic lake, meaning thereby the rainwater or melting snow water gets accumulated in a dry area and do not flow anywhere. The maximum width of this lake is approximately 5 kilometers and it covers an area of more than 600 square kilometers. This lake is spanning over eastern Ladakh and West Tibet, situated at an elevation of 4,225 meters. It is 134 kilometers long, of which roughly 70 kilometers lies within Tibet, while 54 kilometers in Ladakh, and rest is the disputed but controlled area by China. An inner line permit is required to visit this lake as it lies on the Sino-Indian line of actual control. Indian nationals can obtain individual or group permits accompanied by an accredited guide from the tourist office in Leh for a small fee.
बोलो वाइट्स दो
Pangong Lake. Salty water.
Despite being highly saline water, this lake freezes completely during winter and there is no vegetation of any kind. The lake acts as an important breeding ground for a variety of birds, including many migratory birds. During summer, one can watch the bar-headed goose and Brahmini ducks, which are commonly seen here.
I am standing in the bank of Pangong Lake, and it is 170 kilometers away from the lake. And for reaching to this Pangong Lake, we have crossed third highest pass. And after seeing this beauty of this lake, everybody get mesmerized. And lake is around 154 kilometers. And 3 Idiots movie. Shooting of this 3 Idiots movie, this place has also become very famous and beautiful, famous and known place to everybody of India. Thanks, sir.
It was already 1 o'clock lunch time. The group spotted a nice restaurant in the proximity of Pangong Lake. Everybody enjoyed the lunch. And by say 2:40 in afternoon left for their stay at Leh. The road here is really nice, but one has to be very careful to avoid overspeeding in the mountainous terrain. Noticed some damaged vehicles, maybe due to accident, mostly by overturning. By evening, reached their stay at Leh. Next day, this time the group started their return trip at around 8 in the morning via Leh-Srinagar highway. On this route also, the mountain range is beautiful and stunning.
हाँ निकलेगा ऐसे थोड़ा सा बच कर
हाँ जी, कुछ बोलेंगे क्या?
नहीं बोलेंगे ये आइस का आया
सब आया अभी
थोड़ा सा और पीछे हल्का पीछे ठीक है ओके बस रख दीजिए
ये जो बर्फ आप देख रहे हैं ये हम लोग
By 9:30, the group reached Khardungla, which is the highest motorable road in the world at a height of 18,380 feet. Enjoyed Maggie in the local stall there and also visited a goddess temple. At around 12:30, had a stopover at Buddha Shanti Stupa. Beautiful location. Worth a visit. Never to miss and pay one's obeisance. Took rest for some time and again started their journey. By 4 o'clock in the evening, the group enjoyed the cycling at the Magnetic Hill, or call it a Gravity Hill, or Mystery Hill, or a Mystery Spot, Gravity Road, or Anti-Gravity Hill, where even the cyclists struggle to push themselves downhill. In fact, it is a place where the layout of the surrounding land produces the optical illusion that a very slight downhill slope appears to be an uphill slope. Thus, a vehicle left out of gear will appear to be rolling uphill. The slope of the hill is an optical illusion. Also stopped for a while at Indus River. And clicked selfies. By 4:30, had a halt at Gurdwara Patthar Sahib. Local people were terribly afraid of a demon at this place. During 1515 to 1518, when Guru Nanak Dev Ji visited this place, these people felt elated and happy seeing their savior. The demon was not happy. He used a big rock to kill meditating Guru Nanak Dev Ji, but could not, as it turned into wax. When it touched Guru Nanak Dev Ji, his back got stuck in this rock. Here one can have the darshan of this huge rock. Reached Srinagar in the evening, took rest and returned to Delhi by next day morning flight.